Hey guys, how's it going? It's Etanius here. Welcome to episode number 16 of this NHL 22 Minnesota Wild franchise mode here on my channel. If you guys have missed any episodes up to this point, I suggest you go back, check them out. There will be a card in the top corner of the video so you can make sure that you're caught up on any videos you missed. So again, if you missed last episode, I'll do a quick recap for you. We went into the 2026 playoffs. First seed in the NHL, we were simply the best team, and we ended up losing in 7 games to the St. Louis Blues in round 2. We beat the Seattle Kraken in 7, and then just could not get it done against St. Louis. So we're blowing up the bandwagon today. Unfortunately, that is the case. When you look at the contracts we have and you look at the players that we still need to sign, we have Kaprizov and Michkov, who are the biggest contracts on the team. We got Marco Rossi, who's going to be expensive too, and of course Jagger Foligno's coming up. But we have Nick Ehlers. We also have Carson Lambos, who's going to be expensive. So Jordan Greenway could potentially be on his way out if we so find a fitting move for him. Apart from that, Ehlers is a big name that we're going to have to move. Connor Hellebuck is another big name. And then finally, Aaron Ekblad as well is going to be on the move. We're essentially just getting rid of the players that we were able to acquire last episode to clear up some cap space, or 2 episodes ago, in building a bandwagon. But it's been a rough go. I got to get some more scouting done here before we send to the draft, but the draft will be the big moves, and we'll see how that goes. All right, so the first thing we're actually going to do here before we send to the draft or anything, we get Matt Boldy back, but we're going to go over to the contracts here, and we need to sign some extensions. So the first player we are going to offer an extension to just to up his value is Nikolai Ehlers, and yes, he's expensive, but operating on the rule of 85, 9.975, we should be looking at about an $8.5 million contract. So that's nice and cheap for a guy of Ehlers' caliber. So we'll offer that one. Apart from that, I'm not going to offer Rossi or Lambos yet. We're just going to offer our big guns here in Kaprizov and Michkov, of course. So 11.225 times rule of 85 is looking like a $9.55 million contract. If we can get Kaprizov for that cheap, that's a really good deal. So 9.55, I assume he takes that, but he might not, right? So and then Matvei Michkov wants a 10.5. All right, at 0.85, we're looking at an $8.925 million contract for the next 7 years. Is really good. But we need to run on rule of 85 to get this done. So we're going to offer that as well. We're going to advance a couple days here, and hopefully these guys take it, because then that's cheap contracts on our best wingers. So we get Ehlers, we get Kaprizov, and we get Michkov. Beautiful. Okay, so all those guys signed. That's exactly what we needed. I just want to do a little bit more scouting here. So, all right, so the scouting report should be done here pretty quick. I think we're just going to sim up a little bit further. How far did we go? Okay, too far. Not quite. So let's sim up to June 9th and see who wins the cup. So it looks like it's going to be Calgary and the Cleveland Monsters. All right, are going to be your champions this year. So that's good to see. I mean, we kind of expected Calgary to win, but Cleveland was a bit of an, I don't know if they were an underdog necessarily, but just got to do a little bit more scouting on these same prospects that, of course, I've got pinned, because, again, not all of the scouting reports are quite in here yet. So Scavello's a medium 6. Ooh, okay, that's interesting. We very well might have to take him. All right, so the draft class is coming together nicely. I think we've got just about all of our guys pinned out here. Actually, when, again, do we get any scouting reports back before the deadline? Not really. Okay, so that is what it is. We're going to sim to the draft, and we're going to go at it, because we've got players here that need to be traded off. Again, as I kind of said at the start, we're going to be burning the bandwagon. We're going to be getting rid of it. Mackey and Lots don't look very good. I might take Lots, but can I get a decent scouting report on this guy? Like, come on, I've asked for potential in comparison. I haven't gotten his full potential. Same with Johnston. I don't get it. 61.65 games. Oh well. Okay, so for retiring players, Ovechkin stall. Wow, how good was Ovechkin? He was still 88 overall. Ooh, that's rough. That kind of sucks for the hockey community, especially when you got a guy that good. Brent Burns, very good player. Lots of good players in here. Jordan Staal. Did we lose? Oh, that's Nick Foligno. I was like, no, we didn't just lose Marcus Foligno. I was actually scared for a second. I was like, really? Did he just retire? Connor Sherry just retired at 34. I guess he wasn't getting playtime. Big name goalies here retiring too. And yeah. All right, lots of players become coaches. I didn't actually check to see if we missed any scouts, but oh well. All right, I think we're ready to go here. So, gonna jump on the trade block, and as we head into this draft, the main players that we're looking to move are gonna consist of all the guys that we just brought in recently. One of those guys being Nikolai Ehlers. He's actually looking really good still. And then, of course, the goalie, Connor Hellebuck, who was good. Don't get me wrong there. He only played 60 games, but Wallsted's ready to go as well. So we've got 4 names that I'm looking to trade here. As much as I wish we could hold on to Greenway, $6 million is a lot of money. And although he's a good player, I don't think he quite fills the gap that we're looking for. So we're going to jump in. I've got 3 players in the first round that I want to pursue, and we can't currently pick because, okay, 10, 16, 17 already. Yeah, we're picking at 28. So we aren't even close to the players that I want to get. Obviously, we're not looking at the top end, but we're looking at Andy Johnston, who's 1 or 2 year ETA power forward by the looks of it. And then, of course, these 2 low elites back-to-back in Lundin or Rankel and then Lundin. So they both look like really good players, and I would love to draft them. So Yaro Paco as well actually looks like a pretty good defenseman that we're watching. Varlamov also is probably going to be good, but okay, so we are going to swing some trades big time here. So first things first, we're going to go for, even if we can trade for pick 11, what does Ottawa really need? Do they need a goalie? No, they don't. Okay, do they need forwards? I would say they could probably use forwards. They have a decent amount of defensemen, so maybe this is our Nick Ehlers trade. I wouldn't mind that. But at the same time, they don't quite have picks where I want them. Okay, so instead we're going to pursue Anaheim, I think. And yes, I know it's 1 pick higher, but we're going to ask for some decent assets in return. So Anaheim wants to give up these picks, and I think we're going to take them. So let's go like this. What does Anaheim need? Team-wise, they are probably looking for... seem to have a lot of forwards and not a lot of defense. All right. Or not a lot of good defense anyways. So, yeah, Drysdale's their best defender. So, if we send Aaron Ekblad the other way in exchange for these 3 picks, I would be okay with that. If we go Ekblad, plus I don't think we're going to use pick 28. So let's try those. They would be over the max cap. Okay, so skaters matching the block are not players with big contracts. Okay. So instead we are going to try... let's go Pitlick and Manson. That's a $7 million. Okay, that's not enough. Apparently. Apparently not. It's got to be so close. Okay, what if we go that plus... what if we go Lindholm and Pitlick? Does that work? Yes, it does. Okay, so we'll try it. Does it go through? Who knows? I think it will, but let's see. And that it does. Beautiful. Okay, so we will definitely take that deal. Detroit's going to make the first pick here with Kondratek, who is a nice 83 rated. Patrick Kane-esque winger. Probably better than that because he's got more size to his game. All right, so next up, we're going to try a Vancouver Canucks trade here. because I want pick 16. So if we go 16 plus, oh, where else do I want to pick? I wish we could pick higher, but it doesn't look like teams really have any better picks there. So actually, hold on. Let me just double check the draft class here, because I think I'm missing out on a pick here as well for where I want to pick, because I want to pick up Kurvinen, as he looks like he's going to be an elite, but he's also right around pick 50. So if we can add him in right here, as well as where's Scabella supposed to go, pick 80. Okay, so I don't think we're actually going to end up taking what's his name here, the defenseman. Is he even on here? No, he's not. Okay, I've unpinned him, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, so I am going to do this Vancouver deal. I'm going to try to get an extra pick off of the Canucks, right around pick number 80 or so. So yeah, 71 should be fine. All right, so if we go that pick plus 16, and then Vancouver actually has some pretty decent defenders overall, so I think instead we're going to try to trade them. Do they need a goalie, actually? That's the question. They probably don't, but that's okay. So I wonder, wait, if we go between them or Tampa Bay, who needs a goalie more? I would say Vancouver actually needs a goalie more, so let's go with the Canucks, and we're going to offer pick 16 and 71. Is that it? Yeah, okay. Oh, okay, I missed my time. Okay, Pronger goes second overall, just the same as Chris Pronger did. So, all right. Let's try this again. So, 16 and 71 in exchange for, we're going to offer a goalie, Hellebuck, and let's see, I just want to get rid of a pick here. So would that be enough? No, they would be over the max cap. Okay. So we got to take players back that have money on them. So that's going to be a guy like Connor Garland. Okay, yeah, if we go Garland and like, let's say Miller, because those guys are 1 and 2 year ETAs by the looks of it. Oh, we could go Zuccarello. Is that enough though? No, it's not. Okay. Who else is on a 1 year ETA? Yeah, we'll go with Miller. That's close enough. Okay, and it should get the deal done. I don't know if it will. Okay. I think we're going to have to throw something more in here. So what I'm thinking is, I wish we could throw Lindholm in, but he's not very valuable. What about, you know who I actually want to trade is Silverberg, because he hasn't grown at all for a 23rd overall pick. I think he needs a change of scenery. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to trade Oscar Silverberg and Connor Hellebuck to the Canucks in exchange for Garland, the 71st overall pick. So yeah, I'm going to try this. I think it'll go through. It might not, but it does. Beautiful. All right, so I didn't actually think that was going to go through, but it does. So the final trade we're going to offer is to the Tampa Bay Lightning, who obviously didn't need a goalie, which is why we sent Hellebuck to Vancouver. They've got a Moy on this team as well, but he looks really good, and we are not getting our hands on him. So anyway, so we're going to sim this pick first, because I cannot do this trade in 30 seconds. Another defenseman goes. Okay, so where is the Lightning? There we are. Okay, so they got their 2026 first on here, and we're going to go with this, and like, I want to say a second rounder next year, potentially. I think that should be enough value in exchange for what we're going to trade. And I just want to get rid of some picks here as well. So, okay, I'm going to get rid of pick 188 and Nikolai Ehlers. Even though they don't really want him, I don't care. We're trying to clear up some space, and he's 8.25 million. Okay, who do we have to take on cap-wise? McDonough, who's expiring. We'll take him. That works. Okay, that's going to have to be what we do to get this deal done. All right, so let's advance. I assume this trade's going to go through. I don't see why it wouldn't. And it does. Beautiful. Okay, so we trade Nick Ehlers for another first-rounder. So yeah, we have made these first-round picks count. So looking ahead here, ooh, Draper fell to 6. Okay, yeah, because Conley got drafted. So we're picking at pick 10. It's not a super high pick, but it's a decent-looking one. Okay, and I'm going to take Andy Johnston, a 6'5" power forward. And okay, 71 overall. Pretty decent pick. Kind of reminds me of Jordan Greenway, but he's got a shot and a half. So, all right, that's yeah, he's got all alone as well. So that's a really good first pick. Byrne, Johnson. There was a lot of good players in here. Staios would have been pretty decent too with close quarters. Johnson have X factors. He did with just quick pick. Grummet Morris did not. Byrne did. Okay, so, you know, maybe we could have taken Byrne instead, but we could probably use the extra power forward here and there. So, with picks 16 and 17, we are going to take Christian Rankel, who apparently has an X factor or a zone ability, and that he does. It's Send It, though. So, interesting right-handed defenseman. He's going to get some decent play time down in the system over the next year or two. And then, oh, what am I doing? Next up, we're taking the guy at pick number 25 in Nicholas Lundin. Again, 2-year ETA, guaranteed has quick pick. So, when he's 71 overall, okay, nice. So we land 271 and a 69 rated players. Lots of X factors on Lundin too for a low elite. So keep an eye on Lundin. He could potentially grow into something really good over the next few years. And did he get picked? Paco did get picked. Dang it. That was the guy I was concerned about. Wasn't sure if we were going to land him or not. So, overall, it's a really good first round draft in general. Ooh, DeVries was nice. At pick 18. There were some good defensemen in here, too. I'm kind of surprised at how strong that first bit of the first round was. So, Varlamov's on the board, but Naslund looks good. Who are we going to take here? Was I going to take Kurvinen? I think I am. All right, so I'm going to take Kurvinen here over that defenseman that we were looking at. So Kurvinen is a medium elite playmaker at 18 years old. Okay, he's potentially going to be good. Maybe we give him some play time in the minors this upcoming year if we have contract space. That is, of course, the big thing, because I don't know if we're actually going to have any space or not, especially with some of the other players coming up through the system. But over to pick 71. Wait, do we have... Yeah, we got 71 and 74, so we're just a couple picks apart here. But we took Kurvinen as our second rounder, and he turned out to be decent. Varlamov would have been 63 rated, so he would have been a better pick potentially, but not potentially, but overall wise. Apart from that, we're going to move on to our next pick here. We got 2 picks back to back, and I'm going to go... do we go with Gleason first? I think we should, but Scavello should be fine too, so I think that's what we're going to do. All right, so yeah, we're going to take Bryant Scavello. Reason being, well, he's a medium 6, 2-year ETA sniping center, and he's 71 overall. So for pick 71, that's a great pick as well. I don't think we can give him another year to play in the junior league, but that's okay. And then over 3 picks, we're going to take Drew Gleason as our next pick. Guaranteed medium elite. And there's no question in my mind he's going to be good. So, 61 overall. Beautiful. He is 19. That's the only thing, is he is a little bit older. But compared to some of the other picks that we've had, I think he's going to be just fine as well. And does anybody else really good get drafted in here? Ooh, medium elite. Vollieu. Caesar Vollieu is a decent defender. Didn't have him scouted by any means. Ooh, there's a pick. Kent McCauley. Montreal, that's a steal. Yeah, he's got some zone abilities, so that's pretty special. All right, on to the next player, and I'm gonna go with... We picked 97? Yeah, I'm going to go with Ross Reed, just because we haven't drafted a goalie yet. And he's got high potential at 19, so, okay, he's a high starter. I was hoping he'd be a high elite. Doesn't have X factors either, so obviously that Gleason or Macaulay would have been better. But, overall, you look at the potential on these picks so far. We have done fantastic this year. It has been a draft for the ages. So, although, yes, we did have to disassemble the bandwagon to get some of these pieces and picks, I think it's going to be well worth it heading into the future. All right, who are we taking now? We're at pick 102. Only got a couple guys left on the board, and I'm going to go with Dmitriev, I think, because I don't really have anybody else pinned. Okay, and he is a medium 6 sniper. I was kind of worried he was going to be a medium 9, but no, he turns out well. So then we skip over like 4 rounds worth of picks or 3 rounds worth of picks over to round 7, and my scouts were actually pretty spot on as far as there were not a lot of steals or extra picks in here that were really good. Like Adamski, yeah, we had him scouted. Maybe he would have been better than what's his name, Ross Reed, but I don't think so. I personally think that we did just fine. When it comes to drafting, we landed a ton of good picks, and I'm just waiting for like one steal to pop up that we just missed on that is going to be a really good player, but I'm not seeing it. Maybe DiNicola, but there's a player, Ruben Taylor. He's got potential for sure. All right, so not too much missed out on there. I'm pretty okay with that. I'm not really feeling Ivan Nabokov though, but I don't know if there's anybody better than that either. Jalen Lotz is a 3-year ETA, but I'm not feeling him. I might take Mark Paris instead here. Mark Perry, however you say his name. So he's a center, likely a 2-way forward, but again, don't know until we pick him. All right, so let's take Perry, see how he turns out, and he is a low elite 50 rated sniper. Nice. Okay, so that's a great 7th round pick. I was like, okay, come on, I know we gotta hit at least one pick here, and we do indeed. So for a 7th round, that's probably our best pick we're gonna make in the draft. Obviously, the majority of our picks were pretty decent players overall. So that is going to be it for this draft. We're going to wrap it up there for 2026? Yeah, 2026 draft. So by team, fantastic draft overall. We get, the top 6 picks have legitimate potential to make the NHL after Ross Reed, Dmitriev, and Paris. Those guys, 50 overall, they're not likely to make it, but they still have a shot. So, we draft the potential, which is all that we're really looking for in those drafts, and we get a decent return as far as prospects that, sure, they're a year or two out as far as some of these new rookies go. For unsigned players, like, Johnston, Lundin, Scavello. We got Guy Bonnet last year who looks like a fantastic player, but we got some legitimate prospects here who could develop quicker than we're expecting, but also, I'm not setting my hopes too high on these guys because there is a good chance that they don't develop. So, I think the best prospect we might have in this team is Hannu Kurvinen, out of all the players, which is crazy to say because there are players like Johnston and, Nicholas Lundin would be the fan favorite to make the team, I would assume. But we've got Lyunin, Ross Reed. The team is legit as far as prospects go, but we lose some coaches here to re-sign in, so we'll get these guys all signed up nice and quick. Don't think we're getting Wesley Wallace back, but we could get Merrick Dano. Apart from that, the amateur scouts have done extremely well overall. I'm quite happy with the scouting. Sure, we have had some drafts where we missed on players, like which draft? 2024 was a bit of a rough go as far as just missing on prospects consistently, but overall, we still got Foligno and Par Eriksson, who, speaking of defenders, I want to say he is probably right there as far as making the jump goes. He's going to be close. Anyways, looks like Hampus Lindholm will be walking, so that's unfortunate, but I kind of figured that might be the case too. So Marco Rossi is up to a 90 overall. Let's keep an eye on him because he is looking legit. Okay. All right, Rossi at the rule of 85 for a $9.975 million contract is looking at about 8.47, so $8.5 million for 7 years is well worth it. Yeah, we'll have to do 8.5. So I'm really hoping he takes that. If he doesn't, we might have a bit more of an issue. How much is Lambos? 7.8. How much money? We got $29 million to spend. So yeah, the rule of 85 is a 6.69, so $6.7 million contract. I think that's actually pretty doable for a high quality defender like Lambos. We will hopefully get him for that much, because if we do, then all of a sudden we've got a good shot at building a championship team. Ooh, Magnus Oduya, you're $5 million, my guy. $4.3 million as well. We're going to be coming close here to not paying all of these guys, unfortunately. So he's going to be $4.4 million for the next 5 years. And how much is Sexton? Like, this is an issue. We might not be able to pay all of these guys. He's at 3.78. $3.8 million for Brian Sexton would be a fantastic deal. And then, of course, Marcus Foligno, we have to... Ooh, this isn't good. I just hit advance by accident. I meant to hit A on Foligno. So we get Oduya. We don't get Rossi. We don't get Lambos. We don't get Sexton. Ooh, that's rough. Okay, so $1.6 million for Foligno is well worth it. Kovanov, I'll pay him $2 million for 1 year. Has a prove it to me contract. Rem Pitlick actually wants to stay with the team, so that is a well worth it trade for sure. But now we get to the standstill of trying to clear up some contracts. I mean, Jujhar Khaira is not staying with us. He is out of here. Beckham, we will definitely sign for a 1 year deal. Connor Dewar, I want to say the same thing, but I don't know if we can sign him. McDonough, in my opinion, is out. He's 37. We don't need him. And we've got a lot of rookies and signings that we gotta get through here. So, Malikov, I don't think we're signing. We just don't have the room to do that one. Same with Geisberg. But Lehtinen has potential. There's a lot of guys that are expiring here that we have to sign this year. Jody Bruce. Yep, there's a legitimate amount of players that we got to deal with. So something else we're going to be looking for is a backup goalie for the upcoming year because, of course, Wallstead has made it clear that he's ready to play as a starter. He just needs a bigger sample size, but I don't know who's backing him up, and that is an issue. As far as defensemen go, overall we're looking good, but at the same time, we've got big contracts to pay out here. So 6.7 isn't quite enough for Lambos, so let's try $7 million on the dot. I think that's a bit better. Lindholm, we don't have the money to sign. Try $4 million for 4 years with Sexton. He should take that. I don't see why he would say no. And then, we have Hunt. We got Miller, who's locked in because of the 1 year contract. Justin Hall, I think we're going to release. Who does he affect? Foligno and Hellebuck. Okay. So we'll release him, but we'll re-sign Damon Hunt. We will re-sign Nystrom because, again, these guys just improve chemistry and things like such. And then I think we're going to sign Christian Rankel as well. Give him some play time. We're going to get Jody Bruce some play time. And then all of these other guys are walking, like Letang, Malikov. Yeah, it was just a bunch of bad draft picks. So maybe we just wait on Rankel. But we are about to clear up so much space here in our prospect pool. Just, Markov was like a second-round pick, wasn't he? Yeah, he was. Wow, that was just some bad drafting, unfortunately. Geisbers was the same thing. Malikov, Letang, yikes. Yeah, that was a lot of players in one draft that did not turn out well. Oh boy, okay. Apart from that, I got Jody Bruce in here, who is signed for sure. Okay, we'll sign him up. We definitely cleaned up our defensive group a little bit. Lindholm is currently taking up a roster spot. I think we're just going to release him as well. And then on to wingers. And do we need Connor Garland? Personally, I don't think we really do. But we'll see how much he wants to. He wants, 3.4 million. If we could get him for like 3.15 for the next 2 years, I'll take that. Because he would actually be a pretty decent signing. Chaffee, Novak, these guys need contracts for sure. Even Howard. Where did we get Felipe Howard from? He's whose draft pick? Washington's, right. I forgot about that. Jakinsa and Duffy will also be getting their entry levels today. And then, let's see. Left wingers are actually pretty locked in here. Jordan Greenway's so expensive, though, unfortunately. Duar will sign. And I'll sign Leighton in too. I think we have the roster spots right now. As far as centers go, Marco Rossi's going to be expensive, but we're expecting that. See, he didn't want 8.5. I'll offer him a $9 million deal, I think, because he's not really better than... I mean, he is, but he isn't. He's not really better than Foligno or Kuznetsov or any of our other centers that we have. And then the wingers also make him better. Like, 66 goals, obviously Rossi had a ton of assists, 78 assists, but he doesn't have a lot of those assists if Michkov isn't playing full throttle. So, let's see. It looks like we got Bryant Sexton, we get Foligno, we get Beckham. We don't get Pitlick, okay, but we do get Connor Garland. Okay, that's good. Duar, Kovanov, Chaffee, Duffy, Leighton, and Jakina. Rossi's just doesn't want to sign right now. We get Novak, Hunt, Lambos rejects, seriously. You guys are all greedy players. Sexton joins. Okay, Jody Bruce. Greedy players. Okay, so we'll go 9.25 on Rossi. If he doesn't take this, I'm not going to be too happy. Carson Lambos is the same kind of deal as far as 7.25. That's what I'm going to offer you. If you don't take it, I don't know if we can agree to terms. Rem Pitlick, we're going to offer him 1.5 because he rejected the last one. I think we're going to release Cole Fonstad. Just, maybe not. He was actually pretty good. 72 points for Iowa. Yeah, sure, let's re-sign him. It's not going to hurt. Damien Giroux, on the other hand, though, he still had 54 points, but it was a decrease from the year before. I think we're releasing him. It's just, again, not enough roster spots on this team. Bankier, maybe. Obviously, I would love to get Rankel, Scavello, Lundin. Like, all of these guys, I would love to sign them, but maybe we just give them an extra year of development. Come on, Rossi, that's $9.25 million. Oh, you guys are so expensive. It's actually bad because we're going to run out of cap space here pretty quick over the next couple of seasons. So, I'm going 7.5 on Lambos. I can't afford more than that. And I'm going 9.5 on Rossi because, again, we cannot afford more than that. So, if they don't take those, okay, they do. So, who else do we have for expiring? Nobody. Okay. Perfect. So we've got 3 additional roster spots, and I think the 3 players that are going to get those contracts are likely going to be Lundin, Scavello, and I want to say Rankel, but it might be Rensfeldt instead. I don't know. Or maybe, no, DePenta's still playing. Okay, so could be Drew Gleason too, but I don't think so. I think we give him another year. Semon's going to be out of here as a 7th rounder. The fact that we got Paris as a 7th rounder is actually pretty good. So, all right. Not going to offer any more contracts until we see what's available in free agency. Obviously, we don't have a whole lot of money left. We've got $3.9 million, and that is likely what we're going to use on a backup goalie. So we will get that done, and then we will wrap it up from there. But yeah, unfortunately, Greenway should probably be on the block here too. And yeah, we just don't have a ton of goalies right now, so let's advance to free agency, see what's available in net. Obviously, we cannot pursue any of these bigger name players. JT Miller goes on the block for not actually that much. Where was he just playing? Nashville, right? Right. We just traded him. So as far as goalies go, we cannot afford any of these guys up until Capo Kakinen. So do we go back and get him? We could. He's playing for the Kings. He didn't have a spectacular season by any means, but we don't have a whole ton of choice here either. I mean, Hugo Alnefelt could make a really solid tandem with Wallstedt here as an 84 rated goalie. He's nice and cheap. So is he an RFA though? Yes, he is. Okay, I kind of figured. I was like, there's no way there's a goalie that good for nothing. Like, yeah, that was the case. So maybe we go Stuart Skinner instead. He's $1.5 million. Let's see. Yeah, for 2 years, I would say Skinner's probably worth it over Alnefelt and trying to deal with picks and stuff like that. But I feel like this team is still probably missing something else, and I'm not entirely sure what. As far as our wingers and centers go, we're pretty deep, but 3, 4, 5, 6. What about in the system? Pool and sword. Yeah, okay, we've got enough defense. I want to say a right winger that fits our bottom 6 guaranteed would be a nice piece to add in here. So a lot of these guys are just far too expensive for our price range, but we're looking for a guy that likely fits our bottom 6, but Jordan Eberle's, oh, maybe not. Jordan Eberle could be decent. What about a guy like Cody Clark? Maybe Colton Sissons. Nope. Okay. I'm looking for a bottom 6 forward here, preferably. Stenlund's expensive. Eberle's okay. Who else? Come on. Somebody else. Noel Gunler, if he's not an RFA, which he is. Perfect. Okay. Armia, we have no idea on. That's great. Okay. Is that it for right wingers? Wow, that drops off like a cliff. Okay. Who's this guy? Danila Gushin? Sure, let's offer him a contract. He's cheap. I would be okay with that. That's actually looking really good. So let's see if we get Skinner and Gushin, and then that would be it. So we get Skinner, we get Gushchin? Daniil Gushchin, I believe is how you say his name. I might be saying it wrong, but you know, decent draft pick by the Sharks that developed and they just forgot to sign or didn't sign. So we're getting lots of offers for Greenway now. I mean, trading Jordan Greenway would allow us to potentially build out our bottom 6 a little bit better, but I don't want money back. So we are a ways into free agency, and The thing is, I just don't know what else we need. I think the team's pretty set. It's pretty built up as far as we can go. Yeah, I don't see us making too many other signings. The wingers look pretty good. Sonny Milano isn't exactly huge. I'm looking for bigger wingers, preferably. And I'm not seeing them, so. Let's name Matthew Robertson is actually available as well. That would allow some consistency. That would definitely allow some consistency in our lineup to have a guy like Robertson in, playing for pretty cheap. I think that's what we do, just to let our prospects grow a bit more. So we're going to use up that last little bit of cap space, sim to the next season. We get Matthew Robertson, so there you have it. I think we're going to take Greenway off the block now and just see what he can do. So we're going to get into the lineups next, and then that will be where we wrap it up. Okay, so before I actually show you guys the roster, the lines, I guess, the first thing we're going to have to do is make a couple moves. So the 3 players I want to bring up are Morgan Moy, Gavin Hunt, and Par Erickson, because these guys all look really good. I think they're going to fit our system just fine. And some of these other guys, like Gushin and Pitlick, and I think that's it. I think those are the only guys I'm going to move. I'm going to move them down, but we're going to scratch some other players instead. Maybe we don't do... I want to say I want to keep Gushin up, actually, and then send, like, Colin Miller down. So let's do this. All right. Obviously, there's no waivers yet, but now I got to edit the lines, and I'll show you it from there. All right, guys, so here's the lineup that we are going to be running with for this upcoming season. Of course, some changes might be made, and we'll probably look to improve the third line. I mean, Connor Garland could very easily be substituted or traded for a different player, which very well might happen. I want to hear what you guys have to say about that in the comments, but overall, this team looks fantastic. Like, Rossi, Michkov, Foligno is a dangerous line. They should really be able to get some stuff done here this season. I'm expecting a lot of assists and goals coming out of all of these guys. I mean, Michkov obviously is the pure shooter on this line, but Foligno could definitely get some goals too. Matthew Boldy still sticking with Kaprizov, and we've put Kuznetsov in on that second line now, so we'll see how they perform. And Greenway and a new face, Morgan Moy, first round pick back in our first draft that we had. He should be pretty good. And then as far as defense goes, Par Erickson is getting his shot at the NHL. He's a 6'5" defenseman. He's huge for a two-way defender, so we'll keep an eye on him. I'm assuming he's going to develop pretty nicely there on that top pairing with the +5 rating beside Trey Weller. Oduya and Lambos just look fantastic as well. They have been a bit of a staple pairing together, as Lambos covers the ice really well and Oduya is more offensive-minded. And then, of course, Gavin Hunt and Brian Sexton will be playing together on that third pairing. They just get the best chemistry out of all of our guys there, apart from, maybe if we threw Lambos down on that third line, but that's not going to happen. So in goal, Wallstead and Skinner will be our goalies this year. I'm thinking of starting to give Wallstead a couple of X Factors. If you guys think that's fitting, I mean, of course he is going to have to prove it this season, but that's the team. As far as the AHL goes, it's not, crazy strong by any means, but we'll see what these guys can get done. The defense looks better with Fistrick, and, Sundin is 22, but he's not a terrible pick. But guys like Graham Sword, Frederick Fistrick, Jody Bruce is a new name in there. And then, of course, we've got Tristan Lennox and Nicholas Lawrence for our other players down in the system. So that's what we're looking at. Maybe I'll try to put Duffy into the lineup. He could potentially fit down on the bottom line here. I don't actually know where else Bergfors would fit. That's unfortunate because he, again, is a low elite player who should probably be able to get better chemistry than he's getting currently. So, whatever. That third line is still extremely strong. But if we put Duffy here, does he get better chem? Yes, he does. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. That's the team, and that's where we're going to wrap it up. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to go down below, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit the notification bell to never miss these uploads. But that's going to be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time.